So in the previous video, we have established, we are going to establish the fact that for any given set of linearly independent vectors and for any given constants, there exists a C which holds a certain set of inequality. And we assume the contrary. And by assuming the contrary, it means that for any, we can construct a sequence ym, which is actually the linear combination of linear combination of our inequality, linear combination which of the linearly independent vectors x1, s2, etc., xn. Then that ym should go to 0 with this condition. Okay. So this sum is actually 1, which means that each of these values should be less than 1 because each of these values is actually positive. So it means that this sum is equal to 1 implies norm of beta I m should be less than or equal to 1 for all I comma j or something like that. This should be less, which means that if we take beta im, the constants, as beta I1, beta I2, etc., beta ik, the general term, etc. If you proceed like this, since each of these constants, each of this term is less than 1, beta im is less than 1 for all m, 1 for all I, which means that this is actually a sequence which is bounded sequence. This is actually a bounded sequence because each of this term beta 1, beta I1 modulus should be less than 1, beta I2 its modulus should be less than 1, etc. Every term in this sequence should be less than 1, which means that it's actually a bounded sequence. No, the bounded sequence means it's a we have defined these things on the set of all real spaces actually. So these constants are bounded real sequence by Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, which says that every bounded sequence has a convergent subsequence. Every bounded sequence has a convergent subsequence. So this is actually beta im is actually a bounded sequence. If you define like this, then by Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, we can easily state that it has a convergent subsequence. So which is true for all I. So beta im has a convergent subsequence for all I, 1, 2, 3, etc. n. So from that, if we choose a particular case, so beta 1m has a convergent subsequence. Okay, we don't choose that sequence. So it has a convergent subsequence means that convergent subsequence should converge to some real number. Let that real number be beta 1. So beta 1 is the limit of the convergent subsequence of beta 1m. So beta 1m has a convergent subsequence which converges to a beta 1. So we have defined ym should be beta 1m x1 plus etc. beta nm xn. y1 should be beta 11 x1 plus etc. beta n1 xn. y2 should be beta 12 x1 plus etc. beta n2 xn, etc. This is ym. So this is actually the sequence which we have considered: beta 11, beta 12, next is beta 13, beta 14, etc. So associated with this sequence beta 1, beta 1, beta 1 1, beta 1 2, beta 1 3, beta 1 4, etc. We have y1, y2, y3, y4, etc. Now, in this case, we consider a subsequence of beta 1 1, beta 1 2, beta 1 3, beta 1 4, which is actually convergent. So, associated with that, we can choose a subsequence of this ym as well. Okay, so subsequence means we are choosing the sequence, the terms in the sequence which may not contain the whole sequence terms. So we are choosing beta 1 1, beta 1 2, etc., which is our sequence. We are choosing a subsequence. Corresponding to this, we have a sequence y1, y2, etc. Some may choose as beta 1 2, beta 1 4, etc. This is actually only even terms choosing a subsequence. Okay, this is actually a subsequence. For our convenience, we assume that this sequence actually converges to beta 1, which we have already assumed. Corresponding to this, we have y2, y4, next for y6, etc. This is actually a subsequence of yn. Okay, so associated with the subsequence of beta 1m, which actually converges to beta 1, we have a subsequence of ym. We termed that subsequence as y1m. Okay, I think you understood this clearly. So I'll give you one particular example. Here beta 1 1, beta 1 2, etc. is our sequence, and which is a bounded sequence. Associated with that, we have y1, y2, etc., ym, the general sequence which converges to 0. We choose our subsequence to be for our convenience. This is a particular case, not the general case. For our convenience, we take the even terms of the sequence as well. Even. So beta 1 2, beta 1 4, etc. Associated with that, we have the subsequence beta 1 2 associated with y2, beta 1 4 associated with y4. We have a subsequence of ym, which is y2, y4, y6, etc. So corresponding to the subsequence of beta 1m, we can find a subsequence of ym. We called that as y1m. The sequence y1m as y11 gamma 11 x1 beta 21 x2 etc. beta 1 and xn. Gamma 12 is gamma y12 is gamma 12 x1 beta 22 x2 etc. beta n2 xn and etc. This actually is this gamma 11 gamma 12 gamma 13 gamma 14 etc. are the subsequence of beta 1m. So this is our beta 1m, and this gamma 1m should be a subsequence. Okay, associated with that subsequence, which we have defined this new sequence y1m. And if we proceed the same argument as in the beta 1m, we can proceed the same argument in the case of beta 2m as well. So beta 2m is a sequence which is actually bounded. Modulus of beta up to m should be less than 1, because the sum of this all the terms should be less equal to 1, so each of the terms should be less than 1. So which means that this sequence beta 21, beta 22, beta 23, etc., beta 24, etc., this sequence is actually bounded. So beta 21, etc., beta 2m, which is actually a bounded sequence, which by Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, it has a convergent subsequence. Okay, and that convergent subsequence may converge to a real number, which is called beta 2. And associated with that convergent subsequence, we can define, okay, convergent subsequence means it's a subsequence actually, which means it may not contain all the terms of this sequence, but it surely contains some terms of this sequence. And associated with those terms, we can have the terms of y1m. Okay, so beta 1 2m has a convergent subsequence which converges to beta 2, and associated with that convergent subsequence, we can have a subsequence y2m of y1m. So If you proceed the same argument in the case of beta 1, instead of beta 1, replace it by beta 2, you get a subsequence which is a subsequence of y1m. We call that subsequence as y2m. Okay, so what we have done up until now is we have defined a sequence ym, and from that we have defined its subsequence y1m. From that sequence we have defined a subsequence y2m. From here we use the sequence beta 1m. Here we use the sequence beta 2m. And similarly, if you use the sequence beta 3m, we get a similar subsequence of y2m which is called y3m. Okay, and if we use beta 4m and proceed like this, you get a subsequence of y3m which is called y4m, and proceed like this. You can proceed like this up until the nth stage, beta nm, because we only have that much constant. So we get a subsequence y nm. So if you proceed the same argument as in beta 1, beta 2, beta 3, etc. up until beta nm, we get at last stage we get a subsequence ynm. So what we have done in the case of y1m was we have replaced that subsequence, the terminology of that subsequence as gamma 11, gamma 12, etc. Similarly, here we can replace this subsequence of beta 2 as gamma 21, gamma 22, gamma 23, etc. And up until the nth stage, we can proceed like this, and the general term of ynm should be of the form summation j is equal to 1 to n gamma jm xj. Okay, so or gamma 1m x1 plus etc. gamma nm xn. This gamma 1m is a subsequence of beta 1m, and this gamma 2m is a subsequence of beta 2m, etc. This gamma nm is a subsequence of beta nm. This is what we have done. So we have obtained a subsequence by step-by-step procedure by replacing gamma 1m by its convergent subsequence which converges to beta 1m by its convergent subsequence which converges to beta 1, and obtain a new subsequence. From that we replace beta 2m by its convergent subsequence and obtain a new subsequence of y1m, and proceeding like this up until the nth stage. The last stage we obtain a subsequence ynn, which should be of this form, and also summation j is equal to 1 to n gamma jm should be equal to 1, because summation j is equal to 1 to n beta jm is always 1. So this is also true. So we have corresponding to beta 1m, we defined a convergent subsequence which is gamma 1m. This sequence converges to beta 1. Corresponding to beta 2m, we have a convergent subsequence gamma 2m which converges to beta 2, etc. Associated with beta nm, we have a convergent subsequence which is gamma nm which converges to actually beta n. Okay, this is what we have done, and from that we have defined ynm, and associated with beta 1, beta 2, etc. beta n, I can define y as beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 plus etc. beta n xn. This is what we have defined our term y as, and we can claim that this sequence ynm converges to y. So which we will be discussing in the next video. Thank you.